I tried to record one of these before and it just went really bad, and I'm just shit at recording my voice. I feel like my brain just goes at like 100 miles per hour, and then my mind, not my mind, literally example, my mouth can't keep up with my thoughts. So there's probably going to be a lot of rambling and a lot of just stuttering over my own words. But yeah, a few people before said they wanted to see how I edit. So yeah, I'm just going to run through a couple of things. I've done a couple of things already. The first being selective colour. And the way to get selective colour is to go down to this panel here. Click on that, selective colour, boom. This image was like really yellow. Like for some reason her skin was coming up really, really yellow. Let me turn this music down. So I pulled the yellow down, and then I moved the magenta up a little bit, and the cyan, but yeah, you can like fuck with all of these colours really, but I went straight to the yellows. But also I find going to reds sometimes is a good place to go, because I don't know why, if it's just with Canon or whatever, but my pictures always seem to come out either really yellow or really red. So yeah, so that's what I did. And then secondly, I went to curves, and then so I brightened the image by moving this I'm so shit at explaining. I brightened the image by moving this little line upwards, and then I darkened certain areas by pulling this down, and I feel like that's just normally what I tend to do with images anyway. But yeah, I'm not very experimental, but like obviously if you find that you know it works out better doing something else, then like literally crack on. So I did that. And then so a lot of people are probably going to give me shit for this, but I use Gaussian blur to smooth the skin. I can't wait for the comments on people being like, you're a fucking dickhead for doing that, but yeah, whatever. So to do that, I duplicate the layer, and then I invert, and then I go down to this blend. These are like blending modes, and I go down to vivid light, and then I go to filter, high pass, and I keep it at about 24, and then I go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I keep that at 4, and then I hold the Alt key. I literally have struggles saying that all the time, the Alt key, and I press on this thing down here. I can't even remember what it's called, but I press that, and then I use this brush tool, and I get it to like a good size, and then I'll change the opacity to 100 and the flow to 100 as well. And now this is going to look really, really blurred and just over the top, but we will fix it later. So what I do is I just start painting on the subject, trying to actually avoid the highlighted areas, because then you lose some of that highlight. So if you make your brush smaller, you can just sort of go around it. I already can tell that basically my friend Rebecca does editing as well, and I know she's gonna look at this and be like, you stupid bitch, why are you putting Gaussian blur on skin? But I like it, okay, and I haven't had shit for it lately, so whatever. But yeah, so I just paint. I'm gonna turn the music up while I do this, because there's not really much narrating, you just have to watch what I'm doing. And I promise you can get it all. I got the wickedest, the wickedest, teasing you till you begging for more. On side all night, saying give me this. My place, your place, my waist on your face, your secret safe. If I say so, give me slow pace, don't race, let me take off my halo. My place, your place, my waist on your face, your secret safe. If I say so, give me slow pace, don't race, let me take. Okay, so once I've done that, like it does look super, it does look super blurred, but I feel like it just smooths out the skin and it looks banging. But yeah, that's just me. So I'll turn the opacity down, because obviously 100 is just gonna be a bit ridiculous, and then after a while people just start looking fake, like it just doesn't really look real. So I normally set the opacity to about 50. Tends to be okay, and then you can kind of like zoom in on the skin and you can still see texture, but it just adds this sort of layer of like smoothness, which I think is quite nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes 65, you know, you can bring it up or turn it down as much as you want really. But yeah, so that's what I do with skin, and then once I've done that I will merge the layers once I feel like I'm done. I don't really tend to go on her face, because I mean, unfortunately her face isn't actually that in focus at the moment. It was more her body, which is, I didn't actually want that to happen, but it's, you know, it's whatever. But it's a banging photo, so I can't really do anything about that right now. But yeah, her face is out of focus, so like obviously adding a Gaussian blur to her skin isn't gonna do anything, so I just tend to just leave that alone really. Once I'm done, then I merge the layers, and then I will start to I always tend to like color dodge, especially for this photo shoot. The woman that was running the photo shoot, or the girl whose brand it was, said that she really wanted her models to have sort of like a shine to their skin. As you can already see, there's some highlight here, so what I do with color dodge is I just enhance what's already there basically. So to do that I press Command Shift and N. It brings up this layer, and I go down to color dodge and fill with color dodge, and then change the color to white, and then the opacity can stay at 100, but I tend to put the flow quite low. I'll tend to put it at anywhere between 5 really. If you're going over that, it's just gonna be ridiculous. Like I'll show you for an example. Say I put it at like 100, it's gonna look like that basically. So I'll put it down to about 3, and then just like start kind of brushing onto the skin. I mean, that in itself is actually a bit too much. Where there's already highlight there, adding more is just, it will be too much. So you can take it down to like 1 or 2. And also I find using a brush that's actually bigger than the surface that you want, it just creates a bit more of a softer effect, rather than having like a really narrow brush and doing like these kind of strokes. If you have a wider brush and then just like brush over this area, just, it's like a subtle effect basically. So if I zoom out, you can see the difference. I'll turn that on and off, so like that, and then I just do that to the rest of the body here, wherever there's highlights really. Sometimes I even go over like the clothes themselves just to brighten them up. How could I give it all if you take from me? And we ain't got a torch, just wait on me. I just need the time and patience, yeah. You used to come through. When I push, you'd always pull through. So when the things change, you know you made me this way. How could I give it all if you take from me? And we ain't got a torch, just wait on me. I just need the time and patience, yeah. How could I give it all if you take from me? And we ain't got a torch, just wait on me. I just need the time and patience, yeah. So I think it's really nice for jewellery as well, just to make things stand out. So if I zoom out, this is it off, and that's it on.
senses. Can't move forward without anybody else, cause you keep pulling me backwards. You know we didn't like the way I let you take advantage. Here we go, again and again. Baby, you got to let me go. Baby, please don't you go.
Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I'm not gonna go into everything that I do because I feel like we'll literally be here forever. But if you found that useful, then let me know and I'll definitely post more. See ya.